Right, so West Ham away, the District Line derby, the battle of the Brexiteers, Tommy Johnson taking on the famous GSE. It's essentially a rivalry over who can be the most obnoxious, fat, bald and casually racist fan base in the league. Although I do think the derby has lost its edge since West Ham swapped Green Street for an athletics track in the middle of a shopping centre. It's pretty hard to be intimidated by designer clothes stores and bowling alleys, no matter how many times they threaten to shove my plastic blue flag up my arsehole. However, Chelsea do always find a way to embarrass ourselves at this ground. I think we've only won there once in front of fans, and last season we let fucking Emerson score against us. Also, this is their first game back after winning the European Johnson's Paint Trophy, meaning the Barber jacket and flat cap enthusiasts will be ecstatic at going one honour behind Mo Farah in the list of successful sports teams and people to have competed at the Olympic Stadium. Headed to Wimbledon to get the Thames link to Tulse Hill to watch the Women's World Cup final. I don't really care about women's football, but doing something mildly woke will, in my head at least, put some distance between me and the Tommy Robinson fan club I'll be attending later. Despite the game kicking off at 11 AM, there was a queue for the pub and the place was rammed. And I don't think there's a bigger compliment to the growth of the women's game than that. I get inside and order a lime soda as I'm trying to give up boozing. I meet my mates outside just in time for kickoff, where no one joins in with the national anthem. I really hate the men's national team, as explained in my Euro 2020 video, but it's hard to find the same energy for the women. They're a likeable squad, I don't hate any women's football teams, the fans are genuinely supportive and not just using them as an excuse to act like dickheads. While it's hard to find this energy, that's not saying that I didn't find it and thoroughly enjoyed Spain winning. Once the game had finished, I headed to North Greenwich via London Bridge. I hadn't eaten all day, so I got a steak bake from Greggs, which was hotter than the sun and burnt the shit out of my mouth. Go to the Spoons in the O2 and meet my mates who are supporting my attempts to go sober by having a pint of the Philippines' finest lager waiting for me, which, in fairness, is really needed when going to watch Chelsea nowadays. Leave the pub around 3:30 and pick up some cans for the tube. I had a drink now, so might as well have some more. Get off at Stratford and get a bit lost on the way to finding the away end. There's something really disorientating about that stadium, as if every single game there was meant to be played somewhere else, but they booked the London Stadium by mistake. Finally get through the security and into our seats just in time to see fully grown men singing about bubbles and the game gets underway. On the way into the ground, I'd found West Ham's celebration of the glamorised Intertoto Cup incredibly weird. However, once I was inside, I noticed they were still proudly flexing whatever the fuck the 1940 War Cup was in our faces, so I guess they really have to take wherever they can get over there. It didn't take me long to finish reading West Ham's honours list, which is probably for the best, because if it had taken any longer than 7 minutes, I'd have missed a player I've never fucking heard of head past our new keeper, but unfortunately I have heard of, and West Ham are 1-0 up. It says a lot about the past season and a half that after that goal went in, I expected nothing else but a boring, flat, pathetic attempt to get back into the game. Fuck knows the last time we won a game after conceding first. However, I was pleasantly surprised. We looked pretty good after their goal, controlling the game, being positive and creating openings, culminating in Chukwuemeka creating a bit of space in the box and curling the ball past Ariola to get a deserving equaliser. Despite actually enjoying this new look, energetic, young, looks like they've actually played football before Chelsea, we went down to the concourse on the 36th minute. While in the queue to get a drink, we hear a cheer from our end and apparently we won a penalty. So we sprint to the upper tier just in time to see Enzo Fernandez miss it, and then we walk down depressingly to find our place at the back of the drinks queue. I move back off the beers and sample an Ice Pop Prime, which tastes a little bit like Calpol and looks a lot like watered down spunk. However, it's still better than your average pre-poured pint at a football ground. Return for the second half and we're back to being how we were last season, slow, predictable and sloppy. Disasi gives the ball away near the halfway line, which Ward-Prowse clips into Antonio, who bullies Colwill and smashes the ball past Sanchez, and we're losing again. This goal was not responded to in the same fashion as the first. We just can't seem to do anything significant. Jackson draws a foul from the bloke who scored against us, who gets his second yellow, giving us over 20 minutes against 10 men, which only makes our inability to play football even more embarrassing. Halfway through the 6 minutes of additional time, we decide to fuck it off and go home, which is a shame as it meant we missed our record signing bringing down our former player for a penalty, which obviously they scored. That certainly taught me a lesson about leaving early and having to stay to the end to support your team. So once again, we've been shit at the Athletic Stadium. Fuck knows how we'll end up this year, but I'll be very surprised if this is the last depressing vlog I make this season. It's all just a game at the end of the day though, innit?
We're gonna play football.